And we're back with more LA Kings franchise mode, and in this one, we have been kicked out by who else but the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers absolutely spanked us in the second round of the playoffs this year. So we're just going to get going up to the awards, then we'll do the draft and all that, and hopefully the entire offseason in this video. And the playoffs are complete, and the Stanley Cup champions are the St. Louis Blues, and the Calder Cup goes to the Toronto Marlies. And the awards, the Stanley Cup goes to St. Louis, the President's Trophy goes to Dallas, it was St. Louis versus Columbus in the final, and the Art Ross goes to Eichel, the Hart also goes to Eichel, the Norris goes to Bouchard, the Lady Byng goes to Sagan, the Calder goes to Woods of Minnesota, the Conn Smythe goes to Kyrou, the Vezina goes to Saros, the Jennings goes to Leonard, the Masterton goes to Hedman, the Jack Adams goes to Quincy of the Coyotes, the Selke goes to Barkov, now in the Ducks, the Ted Lindsay Award now goes to Eichel, and the Maurice Richard goes to Sagan for a fourth year in a row. Wow. And the draft lottery, Tampa Bay has won. They go from 4-1, Nashville at number 2, Minnesota at 3, Calgary, San Jose, Ottawa, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, St. Louis through Anaheim, Boston, New Jersey, Montreal, the Islanders, Vancouver, and Colorado is the order. And the retirements, you have Backstrom, Spezza, Parise, Perry, Weber, Neal, Bufflin, Giordano, Okposo, Filppula, Zajac, Simmons, Ladd, Nielsen, Lucic, Zuccarello, Brassard, Goligoski, a lot of players retiring this year, Cogliano. And a look at goaltenders, we have Lundqvist, Quick, so Quick finally hangs him up. Good career for him. Dubnyk, Smith, Anderson, Schneider, Johnson, Nielsen, Ramo, lot of players retiring this year. Wow. And the following players are now coaches. Mark Giordano, Hjalmarsson is a coach, so Hjalmarsson retires as well. And then Zach Parise. And before we head into the draft, let's evaluate our contract situation since we have to be careful about what we do from now on. So let's just evaluate where we're at. Kopitar, he's going to be making a lot less money for sure. Yeah, that's good. That's certainly more like it for Kopitar. So we're tacking basically $8 million off Kopitar's contract. Manson, we might not be able to re-sign. I might be able to get him for, let's say, 4.75, but I'm going to hold. I'm not going to extend him right now, because if it comes down to it, then Manson is one of the players who I'd be willing to release. Kessel doesn't want to re-sign, and just based off the numbers he puts up this year, he's an 87 overall. I'm guessing he's going to want somewhere north of 8 mil, at least. Oh my. I think it's time to release Phil Kessel. Yikes. I'm not, no way. I don't think we could pay that if we tried. So I think Kessel is gonzo after once July 1st rolls around. That is just unfortunate. Michael Ferland does not want to re-sign either. We're probably going to have to release him. Lawton does want to re-sign. How much? Okay, I think we could probably bring Lawton back. I mean, I'm not going to re-sign him right now, again, just in case we, by chance, need to release someone else. But, I mean, we already know for a fact that we're going to be releasing Kessel. We'll probably release Ferland as well. And Kopitar is coming down a lot in money. So, I think we'll be able to, we should be fine. But I think Turcotte, okay, so he wants 10 mil. Byfield wants 6.4. We should be fine. As for Turcotte, I think I want to sign him on the same kind of extension as what Pasternak's on. So not including this year, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 years. What to do for Turcotte? It's not going to be 4 years that he wants. I'm more likely to take him up to 6 years. Yeah. The higher you go in years, the higher his salary goes as well. I think I might go 6 for 10 mil. Yeah, because 6 years will take us the rest of the GM mode anyway. We're going to have to penny pinch in any way we can. But for players like Turcotte, I would prefer to just have him locked up long term, because the older he gets, the better he's probably going to get, and meaning he'll be asking for more money in his next contract. So I think 6 years is the way to go here. So we'll just give him 6 years for 10 mil. Sounds good. As for Byfield, I'll give him 6 years as well for 6.7, I think. And as for everyone else, we're going to wait until the re-sign stage actually starts. So with that being said, let's get into the draft. And Tampa wants to trade their number 1 pick. Why would they want to do that? I'm pretty sure, if you take a look at Tampa's roster, they're probably pretty thin as far as actual young players go. They have Kucherov is 31 already, Hedman's 33, Stamkos is 34, Point is 28. They have Lambert, sure. They have Sergachev is 25. And I'm pretty sure they should still have Vasilevsky. Yeah, Vasilevsky's 29. So, would have been nice to have, but nothing that I was going to overextend too much for. I might want to trade for Philly's 8th overall pick, because if you consider our roster situation, we're probably going to actually, not probably, we're definitely releasing Kessel with how much he's asking for. We're probably going to have to release Ferland, maybe even Lawton. Kopitar, I mean, he's obviously going to be making less money, so he'll obviously still be on our team, but I don't know how serviceable he'll be next year, just given his age and how much he might drop between now and then. So, what I'm thinking, I mean, even though Kaliev's going to be coming up, we don't have anyone after him. So, what I'm thinking, with this pick, if we trade for this pick, we can pick up, presuming he's still there, of course, which he should be at number 8. There is someone who's supposed to go 9th, Hugo Guenin. He has the medium top 6 potential, so not an elite player, but the key is that he's NHL ready right now. And having cheap depth for this team, especially in the form of young players on entry-level contracts, is going to be huge for us. So I think, yeah, I want to try trading for Philly's pick. I'm not going to do it now just in case Guenin is taken before Philly is supposed to select, but I at least want to have a trade lined up. So I think this is a fair trade. I think this is where we'll trade Kulikov. So just straight up Kulikov for the 8th overall pick. So since Kulikov obviously has that medium elite potential, he has the better potential, but he's also 20 years of age, and it's going to take him a while to get to the NHL. So we're getting the guy who is the higher overall, definitely a much higher overall than Kulikov is, but with the less potential. But they get the guy who has the potential in the form of Kulikov. And Kulikov undoubtedly also has more trade value, but this isn't about the trade value that we're getting back. This is about being able to stay competitive throughout the win now window, right? And we're getting a young player back as well in the form of an 18-year-old who is likely at minimum 79 overall. So once again, we're not going to do this now. We're going to wait until it's Philly's turn to pick just to make sure that he's actually still on the board. But presuming he is, then we're definitely going to be going through with that trade. And again, it's not necessarily about trade value. It's the idea that we're getting a young player back who can help us immediately, as opposed to waiting a few years for Kulikov. So let's just sim up to, not pick 25, we're going to sim up to Philly's pick and make sure that our guy is still on the board. Oh, did they traded for, I think they swapped with either Ottawa or St. Louis. I can't remember if they were 8 or 9. But now we are on the spot. So that took me by surprise, certainly. But I do still think that we can make this work since they want to give up Ottawa's pick. And I think we're going to give up our 25th pick in this as well, just to give them another first round. But what we'll do in return is take their second at 39. So they're moving up from 39 to 25, and they're getting Kulikov in exchange for the 6th overall pick. So I think this makes sense. I mean, they're getting a player with a lot of value, and they're also getting another first round pick in return. Now, granted, that's less than their current first round pick, but still, they're getting a significant amount of value here. So proposed trade and rejected, really. I'll include a 3rd from San Jose then. So Kulikov, 25th, and the 67th for the 6th and the 39th. Proposed trade, there it is. So we are now on the clock, and presuming there's no elite players in the form of Nazarov or Huey or Laminin, I think we're taking Guenin. Out of these guys, I think I would take Nazarov, just because he looks the most NHL ready. He is a defenseman as well, but we don't know his potential. He's ranked 4th, though. So he might be NHL ready, along with Guenin. All right, hold on. Let me take a timeout. Because I certainly was not expecting Philly to move up to 6th. I mean, we could technically use another defenseman with Doughty getting older. Certainly an interesting prospect in the form of Nazarov. And remember, he was ranked 4th. So there's a pretty good chance that he's an elite player. We may be getting more than I bargained for here. Because obviously, initially, I was talking about getting Guenin, because he's ranked at 9, but this guy, Nazarov's ranked at 4. And he's a defenseman who had 4 goals and 9 assists in the A+ league. I mean, we don't have his NHL ETA, but we have his grades, and he looks pretty good. Yeah, I think we take Nazarov instead, because we're pretty much set at forward. I mean, even if we have to call up someone like, let's say, Amadio or Patan from the minors, they'd at least be serviceable. But if we got that elite most likely elite defenseman in the form of Nazarov, he could potentially replace Doughty once Doughty is getting out of here, you know? Because after Doughty retires, then we only have Kuhlman and Clark, and there's a good chance we might have to release Manson this year as well. Yeah, and then you have no one after that. So yeah, I think we're taking Nazarov here. I mean, once again, I was talking up GUENIN, but I think Nazarov's the pick here. Yeah. Nazarov, I hope you're a medium elite. Please be a medium elite. Big pick. Yes. He's a medium elite, 79 overall. Gustav Nazarov. What a trade. I certainly was not expecting to get him. Shot power, 86. Offensive awareness, 82. Puck skills are decent. Good skater. Really good skater. Body checking, 84. Looks solid all around. So obviously, we got more than I bargained for, like I said. But I do still want to see if we can find a way to get that other guy as well. Although it doesn't look like any of the teams that are currently within this range are wanting to trade their pick. I mean, we could give up Bykov, but I think I want to hold on to Bykov. I want to see how he grows, because as a 62 overall, he has a 74 offensive awareness, and his shot's already basically in the 80s. So I think, yeah, I want to hold on to Bykov for right now. Yeah, I think we're just going to move on here. I don't think there's much to do. I mean, the next team that wants to trade their pick is Vegas at 21. Yeah, we're just going to sim up to our next pick at number 39. So, yep, there he is. Boston took him. GUENIN is a 79 overall two-way forward. Certainly would have been nice to have, but I'm happy. I'm really happy with our pick in Gustav Nazarov. So that was a win-win trade for us no matter what. There is this guy, Colin Griffith, who we don't have an exact reading on him, but we do have an exact ETA on him, and that's 1 year away. So he's not exactly NHL ready, but he's close. He's very close. I think, even though we don't necessarily know his potential, he might be better to take than someone like Rakunek. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think we take Griffith here and just hope that he is NHL ready sooner rather than later and has a good potential. Big pick. And he is a 73 overall medium top 6 sniper. Okay, I will certainly take it. And with this pick, we're going to take the low top 6 forward, Rick Barnaby. He is a 65 overall left wing power forward. Pick 211, this should be our last pick. Let's take Ronald Rissmiller, the left winger. He is low elite sniper, 53 overall though, so maybe he'll be a fast grower. Certainly not a bad pick there. And welcome to the LA Kings, Nazarov, Griffith, Barnaby, Harding, Pirnes, Bobrovsky, Arkhipov, Baudouin, Vermette, Tikhonov, Haynes, and Rissmiller. And there it is, Quinton Byfield has renewed with us. And what about Turcotte? Yes, indeed. Okay, so we have 22.8 to work with. I know I want Shesterkin back. Jones can get out of here. He was absolutely dreadful last season. Flaherty will sign. How much does Shesterkin want? He wants 7.8. Okay, that's reasonable. That's certainly reasonable for an 89 overall goalie. Manson, how much do you want? 5 mil? I'm going to hold off on signing Brown for right now because he does want more than 1 mil. So I'll just see how much we have left. But he's certainly not a priority to sign. As for Kessel, once again, he wants... Well, okay, he doesn't want as much now, but he still wants a little too much. More than we can afford for sure. Kopitar, I think I will give you... Okay, good, he wants even less now. I'll give you 1.75 for 1 year. Ferland, you don't want to re-sign and you want 2.3. We will release you. Lawton, how much do you want? 1.6? Yeah, I'll sign you. I'll sign you for sure. 1.5. Amadio, some cheap depth, so yep, we'll sign him. So out of everyone left, we still have Spence and Kaliev as RFAs. We have Kessel, Manson, Kopitar, Brown, and Shesterkin. I believe that is it. I think Kopitar actually denied our previous offer, so we'll just give him what he wants, 1.9 for 1 year. Kaliev, I will definitely give you this. Spence, he wants 4.5 for 4 years. I think he's worth it. He should end up being worth it. He's only 23. He got 22 points last year. Didn't have as many points as he did in year number 1, but that is probably in part because he had a lot less ice time this past year due to guys like Clark and Kuhlman coming in. But he's still a pretty valuable asset nonetheless. So I think we'll re-sign him. I'll give him 3 years. Actually, if I take him down in years, does he go down in asking price? Not really. I'll give him 3 years at, I'll say 4.1. Manson, I'm definitely not giving 4 years to. I think we can afford him for this year, but for right now, I'm just going to give him 1 year. I'll give him 1 year at 5 mil. We may as well re-sign Brown now as well. I'll give him 1 year for 1 mil. Manson has re-signed. Brown does not re-sign. Kopitar resigns, and I believe, yes, Kaliev and Spence signed as well. So all that is left, Kessel, Brown, and Shesterkin. And we have 14.1 to work with. So Shesterkin, we will definitely sign you. I'll give you, I don't know if I want to give you 6 years. That's a little much for a goalie, especially since he's not exactly consistent with his numbers. I would like to believe he will be, but he definitely did not impress during these past playoffs. I mean, part of it is we just ran into McDavid, but still, you can't use that as an excuse for the 901 save percentage. I mean, you're going to run into good players all the time. So we'll definitely re-sign him, but I don't know about the 6 years. I'll give him 3 at 7.5. Brown, I'll give you what you want. If you don't sign for that, then we're just going to have to release you. And Brown does not want to re-sign. It looks like we are going to be parting ways with Dustin Brown this offseason, as he's not content with the amount of minutes he got. Shesterkin does re-sign, though, so that's good. As for Kessel, we can't even afford him now. We only have a 7.4 to work with. He wants, 9 mil? Yeah, 9.3. So, thank you for your service, Phil Kessel. You will be remembered here in LA. You were absolutely amazing for the short time that you were here. But you're clearly just you're too good for us now. You put up way too many points, and you grew too much as a 36-year-old. And we just can't afford you. So go play somewhere else. And besides, he didn't want to re-sign anyway. Even if we had the money to pay Kessel, we would have had to give him an extra $1 million just to make sure that he re-signs. It's unfortunate, but it's the way it goes sometimes. And with that being done, we are now set to move on to July 1st. And before going into free agency, let's take a look at our roster and see what we need. We have in goal, Shesterkin, and Markkanen. We are set there. On defense, you have Doughty, Clark, Kulemin, Manson, Spence, and Anderson. In the system, you have Nazarov, of course. I don't think Nazarov will play this year. I want him to get another year in Europe, but he should definitely be coming in next year. So I would say we could use a defenseman out of free agency, just a depth defenseman who can come in there and fill in, or maybe even just have Anderson as the 7th defenseman. I don't know yet, but I guess it depends on who's out there. And then at forward, you have Pasternak, Turcotte, Byfield, Ehlers, Ho, Olofsson, Velarde, Kopitar, Kaliev, Lawton. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to try to sign a couple forwards as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have to end up using Amadio and Patan, because I don't want to get too close to the cap, So any players we sign here will purely be one-year deals. So I think for a defenseman, we'll sign Brendan Gooley. He fits into our 3rd defensive pair, so that's a good as reason as I need to sign him as our 6th or 7th defenseman, and he can play with Spence. So I'll give him 1 year, and I'll give you I'll give you 2 mil just to play it safe. I would like to get Ferland back if we can. He was pretty good for us last year. He had 24 points on the 4th line. Takeaway, giveaway ratio is good. Hits, he could have had more, for sure, but he only had 737 of ice time, so I'm not going to take that away from him. So, yeah, we'll approach Ferland again. We'll give him 2.6 for 1 year. I would also like to get Adam Lowry. He looks really solid defensively. He has 103 hits last year, a good takeaway, giveaway ratio, and he's really good on faceoffs as well. So a lot of utility, and not to mention he's very cheap. Only wants 1.9 for 1 year. I'll give him 2.1 just to make sure that we can get him. But that is about all we can do in free agency, because after that we are cutting it close, very, very close to the cap limit. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign a couple of scouts, and then we'll move on. And there you go. There's Gooley, there's Lowry, and there's Ferland. And we're at the start of year number 5 now. Let's see who grew. You have Shesterkin at 89 and Markkanen at 82. Malik, 79, 78 for Villalta, 74 for Flaherty. So he is coming along. He's only 20 years of age, so he's still got quite a bit of growing to do. On defense, you have Doughty at 92 still. Clark is an 86. Kulemin is an 85. Manson 84. Spence 82. Gooley 80. So Clark and Kulemin didn't see too much growth, but I suppose it's good enough for the time being. I think Kulemin was an 84 to start last season, and Clark was an 85, so it's a little bit of growth. They still have some time. And at forward, you have Pasternak with a 92, Turcotte 89, Byfield 86. Ho is an 86, so I think he's going to be in the top 6 this year. We'll find a way to slot him in there somewhere. Ehlers 85, Olofsson 85, Velarde 84, Kopitar and Lowry 81, Lawton 80, Kaliev 80, Ferland 80, Amadio, and Patan 79. And here are the lines starting out year number 5. On the first line, you have Olofsson, Turcotte, and Pasternak with a +3. On the second line, you have Ehlers, Byfield, and Ho. third line, you have Velarde, Kopitar, and Kaliev. And on the fourth line, you have Lowry, Lawton, and Ferland. On defense, you have Kuhlman and Doughty, Manson and Clark, and then Gooley and Spence. On the power play, you have Ehlers, Turcotte, Pastrnak, Spence, and Byfield with the +5 chemistry. Then on the second line, you have Olofsson, Velarde, Ho, Clark, and Doughty. Four-man power play is Turcotte, Olofsson, Doughty, and Spence. Byfield, Pastrnak, Ehlers, and Clark. On the penalty kill, you have Lowry, Ho, Kuhlman, and Manson. Kopitar, Velarde, Doughty, and Clark. 4-on-4, you have Turcotte, Olofsson, Kuhlman, and Doughty. Byfield, Pastrnak, Manson, and Clark. Velarde, Ehlers, Gooley, and Spence. 3-on-3, essentially the same. Extra attackers, you have Pastrnak and Ho. And the shootout, you have Pastrnak, Kaliev, Ehlers, Turcotte, and Olofsson. And of course, in goal, Shesterkin and Markkanen. Scratched are Amadio, Patan, and Anderson. So now that Dustin Brown is no longer on the team, we do need a new alternate captain. And I think it has to be none other than David Pastrnak. Got that massive contract, so may as well give him the alternate captain there. So that'll just about do it for this one. And in the next one, we will go through the Year 5 simulation. See you guys then.